So anyway, tonight we're here to talk about the Lassies and give our thanks. Indeed, this entire spectacular event would not be taking place without the efforts of the women in our movement. And I think I speak for all the laddies in the audience when I say that it's truly wonderful to see the women of our movement finally stepping up and doing something for once. I know, I'm so getting cancelled. I know. Now, moving on from one problematic man, myself, to an equally talented and wonderful human who we're here to celebrate tonight, Robert Burns had a lot to say about women. And as a Burns novice, most of it seems copied straight from the pages of Mills and Boon, or perhaps it's the other way around. But thinking of the amazing lassies I know, my mind jumped to Burns's Rights of Women, in which he said, "While Europe's eyes fix on mighty things, the fate of empires and the fall of kings, while quacks of state must each produce his plan, and even children lisp the rights of man. Amid this mighty fuss, just let me mention, the rights of women merit some attention." Sadly, as is his way, Burns ends up indulging in the middle section of his poem in his own erotic boyish fantasies. But he must be congratulated for raising the important notion of the rights of women and how that discussion was not taking place during these revolutionary times. Takes a man, doesn't it, ladies? So, from the rights of women to the wrongs of women, in the true tradition of Burns, we must, of course, be self-reflective. And as the bard once said, "Oh, add some power the gift to gie us, to see ourselves as others see us." Now, as a self-appointed ally, this is not an easy topic to take to task, but a man's life is never easy. And who is better placed to speak to our sisters on this very subject except for me, a man? For example, my own mother, who I love deeply, is also a woman. And due to my close proximity to other women, such as my mother, I can feel I can wholeheartedly speak with authority on this matter. So here I sit, trying to channel the collected wisdom of all the great men who've gone before me in order to help the lassies in their struggle. From Burns to John Knox to Jordan Peterson, let's engage with the monstrous regiment of women storming the gates of heaven. Now, in his dramatic retelling of the Garden of Eden, well-renowned self-help guru and man who definitely tidies his own room, Jordan Peterson shows very clearly that it was Eve who set us in this current battle of the sexes. By shaming Adam and his nakedness, according to Peterson, Eve set us on a path of perpetual animosity that lasts this very day. I can certainly sympathise with Adam, knowing all too well that the inimitable and scary Sarah Collins will likely tear me a new one in her reply and embarrass me thoroughly. Although I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job of embarrassing myself. Once again, showing that men are always superior in such things. Anyway, on a lighter note, back to the plague. COVID has certainly cast a gloomy shadow over all our lives. It serves as a reminder that life is fleeting, and amidst the cold, dark chaos of the universe, all we have to guide us are the bright stars that litter that black canvas. And some of the brightest of stars are our lassies who seek a better world. We're very lucky in the workers' movement to be inspired every day by the women who have gone before us, those who fight by our side, and those who lead the charge. Women have had a huge impact on our movement, and we need only look around at this Zoom to see some of them here today. So let's not forget those who've gone before us too, who gave us shape and form. Tonight, we remember the likes of Rosa Luxemburg, Eleanor Marx, and Mary Barber. And of course, Ayn Rand and Margaret Thatcher. Initially dismissed as daft wee lassies, at least some of these women broke the glass ceiling and started taking great chunks out of the sticky floor. But I think the most unthankful task that women have had to fight against is man's great ability to make an absolute arse out of everything and anything. See the speech, voila. Of all the numerous ills that hurt our peace, that press the soul or wring the mind with anguish, beyond comparison, the worst are those by our own folly or our own guilt brought on. In every other circumstance, the mind has this to say, it was no deed of mine. But when to all the evil of misfortune the sting is added, blame thyself, fool. Yes, we men truly only have ourselves to blame. And I'm sure many of the laddies here have found themselves in the middle of a heated ideological debate with a lassie, only to realise that you've completely ballsed it up. But it's too late. You're 2 hours in and you have to double down. Well done, mate. You've hibsed it. And so, as it has been written, so too shall it come to pass. With this man sitting on a Zoom looking for a way down, I'll try some shameless flattery here. Sadly, the story of women has largely been ignored by the bards and wandering poets. We are given only fleeting glances, snippets of their story. But whilst they may be lacking in terms of statues and monumental structures, and whilst the poets may have made more reference to their looks than their great strength and resilience, their story lives on in the very DNA of our movement. Their wisdom, spirit, tenacity, and leadership fuels the beating heart of our struggle. Without them, we are nothing. Often the first in and last out, our lassies have been at the forefront of every dispute and revolutionary period. From their cries for bread that led to the Russian Revolution to Glasgow's own equal pay strikers, lassies have given it their all and they've still got plenty in the tank. COVID has again called the lassies of the working class to the barricades, and they've led the way in care homes, in hospitals, in schools, in supermarkets, and essential services. We owe them everything, and they deserve everything. I'd like to end, funnily enough, with some Burns. The only bit of Burns which I think truly sums up the lassies, and I think is a fitting tribute to all the women who are fighting the good fight. And this is an inscription inscribed in a lady's pocket almanac. Grant me indulgent heaven that I may live, to see the miscreants feel the pains they give. Deal freedom's sacred treasures free as air, till slave and despot be but things that were. So I don't know about you, but I'm willing to raise my banner high and follow this monstrous regiment of women to the gates of hell. So in that spirit, I raise a toast to the lassies. Love you all.